All right. I think we all have been in some way or the other affected quite, strongly by this pandemic and the break and, work out of home and all of that stuff. Now you've been in this HR field for, after you left college, that was probably 1 year after I did. And
Yeah.
while I went on to the Air Force, you went on to corporate HR. Okay. So tell me, as a field like HR, what do you think is going to be the huge change after this pandemic is over? What do you feel will happen?
Great. Thanks, Sunny. First, I would like to thank you for asking me to share my views on some of the what is happening today in the corporate world. One, I think if I had to say that one function which has become very critical during the pandemic period, I would say it's HR. Not because I'm an HR professional, more so from the business point of view, what has been going on in the corporate world. When this pandemic happened, I think everyone was taken by a surprise. Nobody was really geared up to, they were not really knowing as to what is going to happen, how we handle the transition. I think HR took the lead in any organization for that matter in terms of trying to see how this transition could be handled. Earlier, prior to that, everything was happening. Like if you talk about talent acquisition, the leaders were very comfortable in asking the candidates to come to the office. There are a few companies, the tech companies, were fairly comfortable. They were doing the interviews through video conference and things like that. But majority of the companies, even some of the senior leaders in the tech companies, they are not really comfortable in terms of doing this video call interviews, or be it in terms of giving that flexibility to people to work from home. I personally have seen many leaders, when I try to talk to them and convince them, they were quite reluctant. Okay, though they were receptive, they were never, saying that, okay, let's try this out. Okay. But this
Absolutely.
pandemic had really provided an opportunity for the leaders and for the organization to push some of these things. I think that's where HR, become a fulcrum in this entire transition phase, I would say. Uh,
Yeah.
the way in which the organizations had to look at it in terms of the org structure or the design, in terms of the number of associates required in this pandemic period. Okay, all this has been a major challenge. I think HR, I would say in this entire context, critical. It's only the transition, but looking at in terms of the resources required, how do we handle the rationalization of manpower? Many companies are like you. I'm sure you also know that
Yeah.
people. So HR took lead in terms of doing the dirty work actually. That in any case they keep doing it, but handling this in a transition in this period, I would
Yeah.
say HR has become more prominent and gained a center space in the leadership team, I would say, in the organizations.
In fact, frankly speaking to you also, see, we've been in the training field for a long time, and ours was the face-to-face model. So if you asked me 5 months, 6 months back, what was Zoom, I would have told you, camera la Zoom, I would have told you. But now we have become doctorates in Zoom. No, but there is a
Exactly.
related question to that. Since you're in the HR field, no, most of the time, whenever something happens, like everyone, if something happens, they'll blame the government for everything. Okay, so like that, they'll blame HR for everything. So
Yeah.
my point to you is there must be a lot of disappointment, disillusionment, and probably strife that people are going through because jobs are cut, positions are cut, and all of that, and it all comes back to HR, right? How are you
Right.
guys managing this?
I think what is important is also the communication. I think building the trust and confidence through open communication, telling
Yeah,
people in terms of what is happening, how the organization is getting impacted. Okay,
yeah,
I think like in my own company, I would say that we did a good job in terms of communicating from day one. We
yeah.
also took some time to make these changes. It's not like as if the day one we went into saying that this has to be done. First is to communicate to the people in terms of what is happening, how our industry is getting impacted, how the organization is getting impacted.
Sure.
We looked at various options, what all things to be done.
Uh,
One important thing is not to get into a straight situation. Okay, we are in a bad shape immediately to reduce people. I think it's a knee-jerk reaction. Okay, so
yeah,
organizations should probably look at a little long term. So how long this is going to impact? What are the other options? What we have? Probably some of the other uh, investments and things like that. Expenses can be first cut down. Look at other options before we really say that we have to let go of people. So what is
yeah.
important is communication is very critical.
True.
Right from the leadership team, And all the managers, if we all talk in the same language, explain to
Yeah.
people, and then probably over a period of time, tell them in terms of this is the situation, this is the reality, this is
Yeah.
what is going to happen. Prepare them well in advance and give them a little time. And what we
Yeah.
also, I think we also had to reduce people and things like that. But we had to give it
True.
a clear time. We said, okay, let's be a little more flexible and generous with people. People who work with the company, so we strictly not didn't go by say that your notice period is 2 months or 3 months, so we have to let go of people. But we said we will give them more time. We also
Yeah.
looked at in
Yeah.
terms of where we can, redeploy these resources. Wherever we are, wherever we require people, we try to put them in other functions in other places before we could
Yeah.
take a call. I think
No,
that's
also,
something very important.
true, Prasad. I mean, I agree with you completely, especially if you have to deal with a salary cut. I mean, actually, the pandemic taught us a lot that we can live with so much lesser. So even the salary cut must have been initially a huge, anti to the whole thing. So what
So,
do you say that employees should be ready with? I mean, what are the skills you think that they require? Not only in terms of skilling themselves or upgrading themselves, but also in terms of soft skills. What do you think that they should have? You believe as a HR person as they require?
in this is a very interesting question. See, reason is the way in which we used to look at the critical skill sets of candidates earlier.
Yeah,
I won't say that completely it has changed, but we also started looking at some of the new skills which are required. See, even
yeah,
at the associate level, we clearly said today people have to work, they have to be digital. Okay. People have
yeah,
to be very comfortable in terms of working, in mobile apps and things like that. So
yeah,
in our skill sets itself, we started looking at what are those skill sets which are required during the COVID or the post-COVID situation. Okay,
yeah,
so
yeah,
some of the job we try to clearly articulate, say that one is very clearly, this is going to continue for a long period. Okay,
yeah,
so while we
yeah,
certainly look for people with initiative and things to that, but during this period, we are looking for people who take more ownership because people have to work independently. There is not going
yeah,
to be much supervision, so I would say definitely these are some of the things which are really required. Another important thing is, if critically from an HR perspective, if you look at for an HR professional itself, in terms
yeah,
of the technology which is there, I think as HR people, we are not really exposed so much, though we keep talking about some of the HRMS and things like that. But
yeah,
during this pandemic, it really opened up so much of technology which is available in the HR space itself, like be it recruitment, or be it in terms of the onboarding process, or be it in terms of learning management systems, or the
yeah.
productivity of performance monitoring tools. I think one of the things, critical thing required today for an HR is to how, because people are going to be working from home, so how do we
Yeah.
kind of get connected with them? It is not just merely talking to them, but also in terms of putting systems in place, some of the tools in place to monitor the performance and productivity, which is also very critical. Given
Yeah,
that
yeah,
there is no supervision, people will be
yeah.
working, and the kind of constraints people have at home today. People are not everyone is blessed to have a 3 bedroom or 4 bedroom. Today, most of the people, 80% or 90% of the population which work in organizations come from the lower, they are all put up with 1 bedroom or 2 bedroom apartments. So they also have
And
the
also,
spouse or the children.
one thing that struck me is there is also this devices. No, now that even the students are having their classes online, and
Exactly.
everyone is online at the same time. So how do you manage with limited devices? No, that also becomes an issue, right?
Exactly. Exactly. I think that's also important for an HR person to have that empathy and
Yeah,
understand in terms of what is happening in the personal space of the employees. I mean, the employees. They also have
yeah,
very limited time. There are a lot of other hindrances or disturbances which are there. And one important
absolutely.
thing which we did in our organization is to uh, create that awareness among the leadership team itself, educating them, telling them, it is not just driving performance, but is more importantly is also to be a little empathic,
Yeah,
understand the problems which the people are facing. You can,
yeah.
don't start the conversation straight away asking what happened yesterday, what was your target, how much did you achieve, you know, take the 5-10 minutes to talk about personal life a little bit, give them that comfort that you really care, show that care and concern for the employee. And
Seriously, we have been in the HR field for a long time, and I always feel this empathy is a huge thing that's missing amongst HR folks itself. So I mean, it's something that you
exactly,
need
you're
to
right.
grow. True,
Very
true.
true. So I
Yeah.
think
So
when you're
what,
working in an organization, we take some of these things granted. Sorry, Uni, sorry, go ahead.
so one of the things that I want to see, you specifically mentioned about the qualities of what HR people need. I also have a question. I mean, two questions actually. One leading to another. What about the people who are joining companies now? Yeah, see, there's going to be a kind of a strife in getting placements because organizations probably will be realigning themselves in terms of numbers of people that they're going to take and stuff like that. Now, what do you think that these guys need? Supposing they're just getting out of college, for example, okay, they're whatever engineers or non-tech guys or whatever. What do they need in terms of employability for organizations to really want them? What should they do?
Sure. Quite interesting. I think what we are doing also is like for we know that people, especially coming from campus and joining the organization, we are trying to put them through because everything is happening through today through video only. Okay, it's
Yeah,
all
yeah.
through learning through Zoom calls and other stuff. Okay, so we have designed specific courses. Specifically from campus to corporate in terms of what are the things required for them, giving them
Yeah.
the soft skills. So first, if you look at the first module itself is only we are focusing only on this bit now. The process
Okay.
training, the functional part of it comes much later. Okay, but we are
Yeah.
spending more time in terms of educating people in terms of what is it required, what are the soft skills required. Basically,
Yeah.
some of the while working from home, what are
Yeah.
the things which you need to be mindful of it, and then how do you
Okay.
handle the Zoom calls? How do you kind of talk to the people, stay connected? So these are all the small things which are required. I think
Yeah. Yeah.
see, earlier we used to take things for granted when people used to come to office. There is a personal connect and things like that. So that is not
Yeah.
going to happen in the near future. So wherever possible, I think we are telling people you stay at home. We will provide all the inputs. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is becoming a challenge. I would say definitely for the freshers who are out of college, without
Yeah.
coming to office and trying to absorb everything, it's a big challenge. So
No,
probably that's where.
I'm not sure if I mean there are definitely great things about technology, but I'm just wondering whether do we lose a personal connect because of everything happening on virtually?
You're definitely right. It is bound to happen when people are not meeting. Okay, you don't have
Yeah.
that small conversations in the cafeteria and things like that. Okay, so that is
Yeah.
definitely there. But at the
Yeah.
same time, I think given this is going to be the new norm and reality.
Yeah.
Again, it is HR as well as other leaders and managers can definitely stay connected. Like
Yeah.
we made it a point. I would say like from my experience during the last 6 months time. I think
Yeah.
the kind of connect HR team had with all the employees in an organization is much more than what we used to do it when they were coming to office. We made it a
Uh,
point that every HR person should talk to minimum some 10 people, 15 people every day.
okay.
So that is
Wow.
something which
Lovely.
we interested. And
Actually,
with all the team,
one thing that I should share with you about this is, so initially when we shifted our training modules from the, face to face, which we were so comfortable with, to a Zoom platform, no, we were wondering, will we actually be so connected with these, kids who are going to be part of so, but after finishing about, 10 or 15 sessions, when we are closing the session, the course is completed, you do feel an emotional connect, though we have never met them at all.
yes,
Yeah.
absolutely right. You're right. And let me also share some of my experience, what we did in terms of some of the other, the kind of
Yes.
programs what we had, engagement programs we had.
Yeah.
While we were definitely did a lot of the soft skills training and things like that, we also tried to kind of look at the spouses and the kids. We had some engagement initiatives for the kids, for
Wow.
the spouses and things like that. So that way, I
Yeah.
think the connect is much better, I would say.
True.
I personally, I should say the connect with the employees and the families during the pandemic period has been much better, I would say.
Yeah.
All it
True.
takes is like, I think when a situation compels you to look at it, no, definitely you will come up with different solutions and,
Yeah, yeah.
you
We are
know,
a very, very adaptable, human civilization. I feel that we have started connecting with our relatives because every month now, every third Sunday, we have a relatives reunion, monthly reunion. We are meeting.
exactly. That's right. Right,
So
you're right,
one
absolutely.
question I have, Prasad. I mean, this is something related to the kind of programs that we are doing, and we have been mandated to do by the Ministry of Human Resource Development to do a professional ethics program. Okay. Now, frankly, I mean, your personal view about, how, over a period of time, the whole ethical standards of people have, dropped. And how important do you believe this professional ethics is in a professional scenario? I mean, you've been there, you've seen the kind of employees that join you, right? What do you think is your opinion about this professional ethics as being part of learning?
No, this is very critical. I think I tend to agree with your observation that definitely over a period of time, you find that definitely the morals or the ethical values have definitely come down with most of the people. People don't seem to be realizing this importance and the seriousness of it. For
Yeah.
whatever reasons, I think as a nation, we have not really kind of focused in terms of building the values with our people. Though
Yeah.
as a country we keep talking about the values and things like that, but somewhere I find that we have kind of ignored some of these things. It is very
Absolutely.
critical, and from my experience in the last few years, I would say the number of governance related issues is only going up, in at least in the last couple of organizations wherever I work. I find that it is only going up, and organizations are also kind of taking it up very seriously. That's why you find many organizations having this code of conduct on values being articulated, communicating, creating awareness with people. So it is becoming very, very crucial. It is important. I think as HR people, we have a major responsibility in terms of creating awareness with the employees. And how do we kind of institutionalize this in an organization? I think that's important. It is not just having a code of conduct paper and posters being displayed, but it is more in terms of how do you demonstrate this is being practiced by the leadership team and get everyone to follow this.
Absolutely. So it has to trickle down from the top, how much of involved you're there in that particular part of it. I'm sure it'll kind of. Okay. So as we're closing this whole session, no, I have, generally the interview kind of leaves a message and all that. No? So I want to ask you also, okay, to two sets of people. One, to the HR fraternity itself, maybe the younger HR fraternity. What do you think that you want to share with them, post this pandemic thingy? And okay, that is to the HR fraternity and also to the general, young employees. Okay, what do you think that you want to leave them? What thought do you think they should run in their mind if they are seeing this video?
Good. One important element I think in this entire pandemic period is I think staying positive. Come whatever challenges, I think when once you are positive, you tend to find solutions. Okay, you tend to look at various options. I think staying positive is very, very critical in life. Okay, I would say even if it is for HR professional or for even for the youngsters who are getting out of college, it is very, very responsible.
Yeah.
The other important, I won't restrict it only to a couple of things, but if I have to add one or two more things, I would say
Please.
you're being flexible and adaptable to the new situations. I think what this pandemic has taught most of us is to, it has compelled us at the same time. We also become flexible. We also become adaptable to the new scenario, whatever it is. I think nobody would have imagined that we would have been in a strict lockdown, sitting inside the house for a couple of months.
Yeah.
It shows that we are flexible, but being that flexible and adaptable, I think that's again very, very important. The other important element I would say is the willingness to learn new things. I think you need to have that drive to learn new things. I think that's where you become a little adapted to the new technologies or whatever new things which are happening. I would say some of these things are very, very critical, be it for HR professionals as well as for the freshers, I would say. Other important, one more element personally for me, what has been the learning is that your critical thinking in terms of ability to anticipate, see, I think many organizations, especially for the leaders, we're kind of forced to look at what are the kind of risks. This pandemic has really forced people to look at in terms of, anticipate things, look at what could go wrong, okay, come up with various options. So that kind of a critical thinking and ability to solve problems, I think that these are some of the critical skill sets going forward. I would say it will be very crucial for the HR people for the future.
Okay. So last question, I'm going to move slightly away from profession, okay? Because see, you know that I'm an outdoorsy guy, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I know for a fact that you're taken cycling to, I think, another level, I think now. Okay. So your opinion that you would like to share with everyone as to how important is physical fitness, especially given even a situation like pandemic. What should you do?
Hey, Uri, I don't know whether you know. So I used to do cycling earlier. Till 30, 35, I kind of was quite, very, very active physically. I used to be very active, play sports and everything. But somewhere after getting into the corporate world, and as you kind of start focusing more on the job front, you tend to ignore some of your personal things. Okay, so that's what happened
Absolutely.
with me. When I did have a setback. I don't know whether you're aware of it. I also had a
Yes,
setback. So
I am. Yeah.
that was a bit of a eye opener for me. Then I had to get back with a vengeance, saying that I cannot let this happen. Okay,
Yeah.
come what me today, I got into that routine and be it cycling or walking or the physical activity or even doing your meditation or pranayama and stuff like that for a few minutes. I today make it a point. Come what may, I spend that 90 minutes every day on the physical activity as well as in other things. And
Yeah.
another important thing which I did, I think, during this pandemic period, see, most of the time you're on phone calls. Okay, you're on review calls and things like that. Actually, I
Yeah. Yeah.
started walking more during this period. Okay, on any phone call, I'll keep walking. So it's almost like I do 15,000 steps every day. Okay,
Wow.
I
So
it's
all these guys who give an excuse, Prasad, saying that they don't have time. Okay, what is your message to them?
I think uh, I think you have to have that self discipline. Once
True.
you get into that cycle, then you'll start seeing the benefits of this. All it takes is
Absolutely.
1 week. If you start going out and go for your walk or cycling and things like that, you will start
Yeah.
seeing like physically the kind of energy you will have. Okay, everything changes.
Completely.
It's a question of habit, and you can probably people who find it difficult, probably you'll have to kind of have friends who are doing this, go along with them initially. So that becomes, they will try to
Yeah.
push you and motivate you to join you. So then after a period of 2 weeks or so, it becomes an habit. And
Yeah. Absolutely. They
take
say
a personal goal.
that 21,
While sorry, Uri,
21
if I have
day
to say like
weeks, the
absolutely,
21 format.
exactly. That's right. No, I think what is important also, many people look at only the career goal saying that, and I want to become a manager, I want to be a head of a function. Similarly, I think have such personal goals also, be it in terms of losing weight or staying fit. Take up those personal goals also. That is also very important.
Wow, yeah. I think that's a great way to close this particular session, yeah. I mean, having not only professional goals but also having personal goals that,
That's right.
drive you to excellence. I think that's a beautiful way to. Hey, I should thank you so profusely. I know you got a
No,
lot of
no,
especially, I mean, thank goodness. I think it's because it's probably 2nd of October. You're a little more easier than the normal days. So I'm
yeah,
glad that
very
you
true.
joined, spend about half an hour with us. And I mean, of course, we'll connect personally also. But I think that
Sure.
way we need to thank technology for being able to, converse like this and get other people
Obviously,
also to
yes.
support it, right?
Sure.
Thank you so much, Prasad. Anything
Thank
else you
you.
would like to say before we close?
No, great, Tony. Thanks. My pleasure in getting connected and sharing my views. Thank you so much. Okay.
Wonderful, yeah. Thanks, da. Bye. Bye
Thank you.
bye.
Bye bye.